Let's talk about Taylor Swift. I'm actually not kidding. Taylor Swift is becoming arguably one of the greatest forces for voter registration in the United States right now. I am not a fan of Taylor Swift's music. I would struggle to identify any of her songs, although maybe I'd recognize some of them. Probably I would. But I am aware of the explosively popular tour that she was undertaking. I don't know if the tour is over. Maybe it's still going on. But Taylor Swift is doing something else. Taylor Swift is registering more voters than anyone else that I am aware of. The numbers are stunning to the point where she could become an incredible political force, maybe for defeating the authoritarian fascist wannabe Republicans in 2024. Axios reports Taylor Swift snags 35,000 new registered voters. A Taylor Swift Instagram post drove record-breaking web traffic to vote.org this week and helped the site register more than 35,000 new voters. Our site was averaging 13,000 users every 30 minutes, according to Andrea Haley, the CEO of vote.org. 35,252 people registered to vote on Tuesday. That's a 23% jump from last year's National Voter Registration Day. 115% increase in 18-year-olds. 157,000 eligible voters went to the site. These are really incredible numbers. Rolling Stone also has a piece on this. Taylor Swift calls Swifties to action on National Voter Registration Day. I've been lucky to see so many of you guys at my U.S. shows, Swift said. I've heard you raise your voices, and I know how powerful they are. Make sure you're ready to use them in our elections this year. It should not be understated that someone in Taylor Swift's position, for all of the, some people say, oh, shut up and sing, shut up and dribble, whatever. People who complain, I went to a Springsteen show. I'm a big, strong, burly Republican, but he was talking about politics and how Trump is bad, and I want him to shut up and do the next song and whatever. Listen, you can choose to support or not support any athlete, artist, or celebrity of any kind based on your political views, but it should not be understated that Taylor Swift, particularly based on the age of many of her fans, could potentially swing the election. I mean, I don't think it's going overboard to say that there is the potential there. And of course, there's the question, well, if Taylor Swift's fans are 50% Democrats and 50% Republicans, and she's registering, one Republican and one Democrat for every two people that register as a result, it won't really have an impact. There is certainly reason to believe that her fan base is going to lean more anti-Republican the way Swift herself appears to lean. Now, there's one other story or an irony in all of this. This is all only even a story because we don't have automatic voter registration in the United States. And this whole thing of I've got to make sure in many states, I need to register by a certain deadline to even be allowed to vote. That being a thing is the only reason why this even matters. If we had same-day registration, it would make this sort of moot. If these voter roll purges would be made irrelevant by same-day registration or automatic voter registration, default voter registration, and some states are pushing for that, this entire concept of we've got to get people registered becomes increasingly moot. So fascinating, incredible that Taylor Swift is taking on this level of importance in the political dialogue around voting. And also, it's sort of like, if the US had a different healthcare system, Breaking Bad wouldn't even have made sense as a series based on the premise. We've talked about that before. This entire concept of voter registration drives would be moot if people were automatically registered or could register on election day in every state. That's not the case. And to the extent that it remains that way, people like Taylor Swift actually have an even bigger opportunity to make a difference. One of our sponsors today is Zippix Nicotine Toothpicks. Zippix brings you a convenient alternative to smoking and vaping and the vape clouds, the ashtrays, the thing in your lip that people can see. I've seen that around. This is an easier and less messy way to curb the cravings, and you can use Zippix just about anywhere. Zippix is available in 6 flavors with 2 or 3 milligrams strength. The nicotine and the flavor are long lasting, and Zippix has helped countless people kick the bad habits, and they are bad habits. Zippix toothpicks are FDA registered. Their customer service is second to none. It is one of the most cost-effective alternatives. Also, check out their B12 and caffeine toothpicks. See for yourself why so many people have switched to Zippix toothpicks. You can only get Zippix online. Quitting has never been easier with Zippix nicotine toothpicks. Go to Zippix.com, get 10% off with the code PACMAN10 at checkout. The link is down below.